Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. I'd like to welcome you to the National Museum of the American Indian here in our nation's capital as we celebrate Native American Heritage Month. My name is Jay Harrison. I work with the Office of Community and Public Programs here at the museum. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank Alaska Airlines for today. The Native American Heritage Month celebration of Northwest Coast Dance is made possible by the generous support of Alaska Airlines. Without further ado, we'd like to start our art and dance celebration with an internationally renowned West Coast First Nations masked dancing group, People of the Copper Shield. They're from Vancouver, British Columbia. Now, before we start, for those who wish to post on social media photographs, we do have a sign over to the right that has the information about the People of the Copper Shield. So if you want to hashtag your photos, please go over to the sign afterwards and do so. We'd be very appreciative of that. So how about a big rousing welcome to People of the Copper Shield.
Amagan flag, lum goru na o nizin, lum goru na o get goyakasam. Some slodum news some at a tauch shawat oayu. Wo uxt amat eek deot watko. Tsamix at a achwan ani deot zago. Oirsum news some at a uplugo and oirsum piscataway get the again. Git Hayetsk diwam. Musqueam, Squamish at a steward tooth, Lucuus, Dewot Zuggan. In Sm'algyax, the language of the Tsimshian people, I have introduced myself by my real names, Simthlodam Nusum, and Tau Shawat. My everyday name is Dr. Mique'l Dangeli. I said I'm very happy to see all of you here today. Good morning. And that we are the Git Hayetsk, the people of the Copper Shield, that my husband, Gitxsan Nations, and I both hold our Hayetsk. This is the highest form of ceremonial wealth amongst our people. And that we hold our responsibilities to the standard embodied by this ancestral being of wealth and prestige and power. We thank our Piscatawat relatives here whose territory all of us are in today for allowing us to share our songs and dances. We come from the unceded territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples, known by its colonial name as Vancouver, British Columbia. We also come from the territory of the Achwan peoples in Juneau, Alaska. So it's our absolute honor and privilege to share our songs and dances with you here today. My nachs Gitxsan at a Teethlane. Mike Dangeli has been an artist in residence here for the past 2 weeks. We are absolutely thrilled we've been away from each other for a long time. We're absolutely thrilled to share songs and dances as we are partners in leadership in the Git Hayetsk. I'll now turn our oratory over to my nachs, my husband, for him to introduce this next song.
Sm'algyax, Gitxsan Nations, at a Teethlane, at a Mike Dangeli Dawayu. Gingola Dawatku, Tsimil Dibadeko, Vancouver Dewot Zuggan. By way of another introduction, I've introduced myself in our Sm'algyax language. My Nisga'a name is Gitxsan Nations. I'm from the house of Baitnach, at the village of Gingolit. I live in Vancouver B.C. in Juneau, Alaska. It's been my absolute pleasure to be able to share artist space with some beautiful artists, Dolores Churchill and Tommy Joseph. The very first song that we're singing, we are paddling our canoes in to our Piscatawat Nagetku, our relatives of the territory, and we thank them for allowing us to do our ceremonial beings and to share a small portion of who we are. The song following this is our Thunderbird song. This Thunderbird song was gifted to us by S'm'algyax, Bob Baker of the Squamish people. This song, we talk about the gifts from Sm'algyax. We talk about our traditions. We have names for every color in the rainbow in our language, so I argue that that makes it traditional. My wife will be dancing Anacha in the Squamish language. In Sm'algyax, we say Satampti. In English, it's the Thunderbird. The Thunderbird gets everybody's attention to witness what will be happening on the feast floor. We will be stretching out our longhouse floor and following our rules and protocols as Northern people in this short time that we're here. The Thunderbird asks all of you to witness, to go and share what you've witnessed, and to the people and our families back home, because they're live streaming this. Hi, Mom. We're very excited about being able to share this next bean, to ask you all to be witnesses to, if you're going to, again, take photos or share video, there's a poster on the side. If you can tag at Git Hayetsk or Mike Dangeli, that's how we do a lot of social media. We're 21st century people, just like all of you, and it means so much to be able to share our culture and our songs with all of you. This is Anacha in, to call upon everybody's attention, or Satampti the Thunderbird. Slogodim Gats, mana! This next song we're going to be doing, we do quite a bit of protocol before we actually take the floor. This next song we're going to be scattering Eagle and Swans Down. The Eagle and Swans Down is our highest form of honoring, but it's our highest form of noch noch. Noch noch means beyond human power. And this being in the sky, the eagle and swan, is the closest that we get to heaven in this human form. So if it comes out, what we're doing is blessing the floor. We're thanking the NMAI, we're thanking the staff, we're thanking our Piscataway relatives for allowing us to share some of our songs and dances. At the end of our performance, if there's eagle down and swans down on the floor, please feel free to take it. If it lands on you, take it as a blessing and know that we are treading softly. We hope our words and our songs land as softly as that on all of you. System. Gitxsan. That the next song after our piece, my son Nick, who was drumming with me, is the 6th generation to sing that song. What we're saying is we're happy to be here, to feast, to celebrate, to dance amongst you. We're really fortunate to have so many old songs that go back since the beginning of time, but also to be able to have songs that were gifted to us or that my wife and I have composed and choreographed. All the songs were taught, the old songs were taught to me by my mother, Nisga'a, and my grandmother, Basach. My late grandmother's just since passed and has made me sole owner and protector of all of our family songs, including this one. This one, we are again honoring our Sm'algyax and Sm'algyax, our chiefs, our matriarchs, our most relied upon people in the village. We again are going to be scattering eagle and swans down to show that we will be here, that we will tread lightly, that we will walk gently in the territory of the Piscataway, that we will tread lightly in this beautiful longhouse, in this beautiful home that holds so many of our ceremonial beings. Again, if the eagle and swans down lands on you, please take it as a blessing. So I've been here for last week, and we came and have been able to create new ceremonial beings by being inspired, by being in this beautiful facility in the Smithsonian and looking at the collections. I carved an eagle mask to go to this next song and was inspired by ambalan, a Gwishalite ambalan, a Chilkat style apron that we call Gwishalite in Sm'algyax because it actually comes from our people. This apron inspired me to create this mask that would be brought to life right now, and it is for my webcast, Kian Tate, and his dance group, to share with his dance group and to use while he's in our group. So I'm very proud to be able to dance for the very first time and have this mask dance that was created in this space to forever connect us to the beautiful people in the time that we had here at the National Museum of the American Indian. So this is our Eagle song that was composed to commemorate my first totem pole raising in 2000 in Vancouver. I have since just completed my 21st totem pole for the Justice Institute in New Westminster, British Columbia. Gitxsan. So the last mask was Sm'algyax, that's my Waggy, my brother, who brought to life that eagle mask. And again, it was such an absolute pleasure to be able to create that and forever connect me to Dolores and to Tommy in this beautiful time. And I say Gonos Chish and Hawa to those two beautiful artists for sharing that space and time and their knowledge, not only with me, but with everybody who came, the thousands of people that came. And I thank all of you for witnessing that beautiful exchange of bringing that Noch Noch to life. This next song was composed by my Wek, David Nelson III, and it honors one of my favorite cultural heroes. His name is Tsimshian. Tsimshian represents the very best of us, the very worst of us. Tsimshian is human personified. Tsimshian is a transformer, a shapeshifter, a trickster. To our relatives over the mountain, he goes by Coyote. To us on the West Coast, his favorite form is that of the raven. So we're about to be visited by a Tsimshian spirit, a trickster spirit, raven in all of his beautiful shapes, forms, and colors. And you should be warned, Tsimshian loves to tease us. So you've all been warned. If he teases you, know it's out of love and kindness. Please don't be offended. He loves to tease. So go to Gatsmana! So who lost something? Raise your hands. Oh my goodness, even after we warned you. If you lost something, please come forward. Come see Helen and Nick to come claim your stuff. This is how we get you up to dance. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Scarves, bags, cell phones, coffee cups. So if you lost something, raise your hand one more time for me, please. For us, when a supernatural being comes from that plane of existence to touch us in the mortal realm, that is a huge blessing. So please take it as that blessing. Can we give them a round of applause for being such good sports? Yes, and we definitely thank you for the help, especially with the bag. The $20 is great. We came a long way. Yagwa Sabix, I'm only joking. So this next song is a newer song that was inspired by my dad, Sm'algyax Dalda, Chief Don Roberts of the Spooksut Tsimshian people. Not only is the chief counselor for Tsimshian, but he's also a fisherman. And as he was out one morning, early in the morning, he noticed his net bobbing up and down, and he thought he caught his load in salmon. And as he began to bring in his gill net, he noticed that it shot underneath the water, and he knew he snagged something. And then he began looking around, and he seen that a killer whale pod was getting closer and closer to his boat. And then as he looked down, he saw, as he was bringing in his net, that a baby orca had been caught in his gill net. And he became really worried because orcas have been known to scuttle boats, especially if they're young or in trouble. So he stopped everything immediately. And the mother came really close, and he explained that he too is of the killer whale clan, that he didn't do this on purpose, it was an accident. He explained, he took out his knife and he said he was going to cut that net, not to hurt the baby, but to free it. And he was able to touch both mother and child at the same time. And he could hear the mother talking to the baby, talking to the rest of the pod. And when he said that, the rest of the pod swam a little further away. And he heard them singing. And he was able to cut his very expensive gill net to free this baby orca, which then swam off. And they swam around his boat several times, singing, and then swam away. When he said this song, or talked about this adawah to my wife and I, we knew this had to be it was a beyond normal event, a supernatural event. So it inspired us to create this song. I'd also like to thank my Tlingit brother here for allowing us to dance his bear mask to life today. It means so much to be able to share and show this Tlingit connection, my family's Tlingit connection, to our relatives up in the north, from the Nass Valley to our Tlingit relatives, to be able to dance his bear mask to life today. So I say, Gunlachish ho ho, thank you for allowing us to use your bear mask here today. Can we give him a round of applause, please? So our next song is another new song that was composed in the Powhatan language by a very dear friend of ours and relative, DJ Worley. And my Nachs will be explaining this song.
So it's important for us, as you've seen already, that we not only sing the songs of our ancestors, but that we compose and choreograph new songs and dances that talk about the time that we live in today. And this song was one that was gifted to me, and I already had the dance, I already dreamt the dance. As I shared in my introduction, my name is Dr. Mike and Mique'l Dangeli. I'm a professor at the University of Alaska, Southeast. And when I was writing my master's thesis on the photography of Benjamin Alfred Haldane, a Tsimshian who started a portrait studio in our community in 1899. When I was doing this work, I just saw him as this incredible photographer that took very powerful pictures of our community and our families. I had no idea that he's considered one of the very first professional Indigenous photographers in all of North America until I presented my research at the University of California in Davis at an Indigenous photographers conference called Visual Sovereignty. At that conference, a young Muscalero Apache PhD candidate gifted us this song, gifted all of the Indigenous photographers and Indigenous photographers, scholars, this song. And the dance that is BA's photography came to life through this gift. So when we dance this song, we ask all of our witnesses to think critically about what you mean when you ask someone or you tell someone, that's not traditional. Because if our people have a practice of using photography since 1899, and we have the longest standing practice of incorporating all the tools and technologies that come into our territories into our practices, who's to say what is not our tradition? Our traditions are self-determined by us, and photography is one of our traditions. This is our photographer's song.
Eat, say, Gitxsan. This next song is one that I've composed to commemorate a very special moment and a very special time, the birth of my son, Mique'l Dangeli, the one I was drumming with. The song was composed about 18 years ago, and I had the assistance of Donna Mae Roberts and David Boxley with the help of the translation into Sm'algyax. This song talks about this very important moment when Nick was born. The Marconium bag broke open and got all over and got in his hair, his eyes, his nose. Finally started to fill his lung, and Marconium is thick like molasses and peanut butter, and it's very sticky. And we nearly lost him. As I was at the incubator standing over him, I was able to sing every song that I knew. One, to welcome him to this world, but two, to also talk him into staying here. And then when I was washing him off, singing to him, I noticed his fingernails and toenails had been stained copper. And to us on the West Coast, copper is a sign of wealth, of power, of prestige. Only the noblest people are allowed to possess a copper shield. To have it on your regalia, let alone tattooed on your skin, you have to earn that right through feast and potlatch. So I said he was my little copper boy, a gift from Wiam Ligilaha. And at my first potlatch, we placed the name, his Tsimshian name, Git Hayetsk, on Nick, composed this song, and we made this mask. At 16, Nicholas received his adult Nisga'a name, Git Hayetsk, his Nisga'a name meaning the backbone of the copper. So it is through Git Hayetsk at Git Hayetsk, Mique'l Dangeli, that we're allowed to use this song. Gitxsan. This next noch was inspired and taught to me by my late grandmother, Basach Louise, Sigamhanach Basach, matriarch Louise Barton Dangeli, and my mother, Sigamhanach Mashlit'a Arlene Roberts, matriarch Arlene Roberts. And in this song, I was very little when we taught to sing this song. We use this song as a prayer song. And we use this to call upon the strongest of the four winds, the north wind. The north wind we use as a messenger to carry our prayers to the Creator, and the Creator uses this being to carry strength back to us. Now, I saw this in my own life in 1991 when my Uncle Bill passed away. My uncle was my absolute hero. He was a Marine in Vietnam. He played for the University of Washington Huskies in 2 Rose Bowls, taught me to read. He was my absolute hero. And when he passed, it left a very large hole in our family, but also in my heart. So as we were on the beaches of Sm'algyax, Alaska, we were living there at the time, we began burning food, burning clothing, and preparing him for that other side. My family asked that I share a song, so I began calling to the north wind. The louder I sang, the stronger I sang, the stronger the wind and the waves became. And when I stopped, it too stopped. The following year, my father and my other uncle, Pat Hollywood Jr. and Don Hollywood, passed away in a boating accident. As we were on the beaches of Saxman, Alaska, amongst our Tlingit relatives preparing for their journey, my family asked that I share a song again, so I began calling to the north wind. Again, the louder I sang, the stronger I sang, the stronger the wind and the waves became. And when I stopped, it too stopped. It was said there that I need to take this as a noch, as a power song, as a prayer song, to bring strength to those in need. When my wife and I started this dance group over 13 years ago, this is one of the first songs that we sought permission to use. It's so old, we've lost count of how many generations the Dangelis have been singing it. But it didn't have a dance and it didn't have a mask to go with it. So we sat down and carved these masks, and my wife choreographed this dance. It's a wonderful marriage of the old and the new, honoring our rich, complex history, but also honoring the richness and complexities of who we are as 21st century Indigenous people. This is our North Wind song. What's up, Alice? Hey! Our last song before our exit is another old and ancient song. This song comes from our Tsi'awit side. The Tsi'awits are the Dene-speaking Southern Athabascans of Southeast Alaska. According to some anthropologists and archaeologists, we're supposed to be extinct, yet my son Nick and I stand in front of you here today as descendants of the Tsi'awit. Our ancestors would sing this song when they returned home from combat, and they would laugh and taunt their enemies because they had survived. In recent history, my grandfather, a veteran of World War II, When he returned home, our family sang this song. My Uncle Bill, who I spoke of earlier, was a Marine in Vietnam, and when he returned home, our family sang this song. My two brother cousins, Frank Watson, served in the U.S. Navy, and my brother Ron Dangeli served in the U.S. Marines, and I myself served 10 years as a U.S. Army Airborne Ranger. When we returned home from our tours of duty in combat, our family sang this song. Not only do we continue to sing this song for our warriors and our veterans, but we sing it for our residential school survivors. We sing this song for our young ones when they graduate from Head Start to elementary school, to middle school, to high school, to college and university. We sang this song for my wife when my son and I hosted a potlatch for her when she became the very first Native person to get a doctorate in the study of our art history. We sing this song every opportunity we can because we are still here practicing our language, our songs, our traditions. We're going through some very difficult times as human beings right now. I again would like to thank my Tlingit relative, Tommy Joseph, for allowing us to dance to life, his armor. We wear this, it says water is life, and we like to dedicate this to our relatives at Standing Rock. We're doing this at Center. We want them to know that we stand with them, that we claim victory over this. Our people have a strong resilience to still be here in the 21st century. My grandfather used to say there's nothing more dangerous than an Indian with an education, so be dangerous. I would like to also add, there's nothing more dangerous than a human being, so we need to educate ourselves. We have a vested interest as human beings in this planet. We need to share this planet. We all need to go together in the same canoe as human beings. So it's with great honor and pleasure that my son is geared up in the armor. And again, we thank our relative Tommy Joseph for allowing us to bring this to life. And for those of our relatives out there who are watching this in live stream, we dedicate this to our dear relatives at Standing Rock. So again, we send our love and prayers to our relatives out there. We're the Git Hayetsk dancers. We thank you for witnessing. We'll be dancing again. We're going to clear the floor for our dear relatives from Anchorage, the LLG, and they're going to take the floor now. So we thank you guys for being so respectful. Again, if you shared any photos or videos, on the side is our hashtag and at Git Hayetsk for proper spelling to share it on its social media. So please welcome LLG to the dance floor. Oh, we got time? Oh, they're telling us we got time now. So we'll do our exit song then. This song was gifted to us by my Wek'tsimil, my beaver brother Sean McDougall of the Yukon Dakaquan. It was gifted to my wife and I 5 years ago at our wedding potlatch, or 6 years ago. And we'll be using this as our exit song. Hey, oh,
hey, ah, hey, oh, hey, ya, ah, hey, ya, ah, ha.